Hi, everyone. That was Mitt Romney speaking at the Republican National Convention last night. And we heard commentators from all sides of the aisle giving their reviews of Romney's speech. But what did small business owners think about what he had to say? We have Sam Caucci on. He is the founder of SalesHuddleGroup.com, a small business owner himself. And Sam, I'm wondering, what did you hear from this speech? What were some of the keynotes?
You know, I think that there was a lot of strength in the passion, the humanization of Mitt Romney during the speech. I think that as a small business owner, I would have liked to see a little bit more detail. You know, it felt like it was a lot of the same old that we've heard a lot before the convention. So I think the goal of the speech was a little different than the aim at small business owners. And I think that we're going to see a lot more in the coming weeks in the debates where we're going to get really more granular and detailed as to what the differences are with both candidates as far as what they're going to do with small businesses.
Well, that is usually sort of the way this unfolds. You know, for those of us who have been watching this tirelessly, we have, of course, heard many of these things before, but a lot of people just start tuning in now. So the candidates do sort of try to get their general platform out there, and then hopefully those details unfold as it goes on. At least that's the plan. Of course, we don't always see those details unfold going forward, so we'll have to keep an eye out for those. But I wonder specifically, what is it that you're looking to hear from this candidate?
You know, I think that there was a lot of strong points made as far as 12 million jobs being created, right? I think that we want to see plans that are laid out as to what are we going to do in regards to the economy. You know, when I deal with a lot of clients in my business who are small businesses all across the country, and I think that their major concern relates to how are we going to get the economy going? How are we going to generate more revenue? And you know, even when I consult a lot of companies in the sports space, it's all about keeping your aim focused and straight ahead on generating more revenue. And you know, I think we're going to see in the months ahead what's going to unfold. You know, I think there's definitely a holding pattern with small business owners right now with what they're doing, whether it's regards to hiring or what kind of decisions they're making aggressively with marketing, and they're really waiting to see a detailed plan that, you know, again, we're all actively waiting for.
And from the people that you speak to, is there sort of a general sentiment as far as which direction the government should move in order to create more jobs? Because that seems to be the focus. Everybody talks about jobs. We just had Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke come out and say that's the big focus, the big bad part of this economy right now. But people don't often talk in specifics about what it is they expect the government and specifically the president to do to better that situation. I wonder, as you speak to small business owners, and you being one yourself, what you think you can expect from the government and specifically the president in that realm.
Yeah, I mean, one of the points that, you know, Mr. Romney made when he talked about his 5-point plan was about improved skill with the American workforce. How do we improve education? I think that's something that's really interesting because, especially in the sports space, there's 80% turnover in the sports industry with a lot of students coming into the sports industry, specifically in the rest of the workforce. But how do we improve in, you know, skill development, training programs to ensure that the qualified candidates are getting prepared for the economy that we're in and the work, you know, coming to be able to deliver on the work that's expected.
Oh, sure. There is a mismatch, it seems, in skills required in jobs and the skills that people out there applying for jobs have. So despite the fact that you have all these people unemployed, there are jobs that are going either unhired or they have to hire from outside the country because they don't have anybody that can meet that skill level. So there's definitely a little bit of a mismatch there. There's also a mismatch, apparently, in the number of women versus men that are starting new businesses these days. I want to throw to that side and then get your view on it, Sam.
Women are more likely than men to start a business. They need a president who respects and understands what they do. And let me make this very clear. Unlike President Obama, I will not raise taxes on the middle class of America.
You know, I think that, you know, from the bottom line is 99% of American businesses are small businesses, right? 52% of the workforce that's in the small business space.
Not every time we look at that jobs report, it's always a majority of small businesses that are making those additions, that are creating those new jobs.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think that women are at the forefront of innovation and change, especially in a lot of the spaces I see when I travel, not only the U.S., but globally, where they're making a lot of change, especially in the sports space, where, you know, innovation and change is needed. And there's, you know, a good old boy network that always needs to be challenged.
Well, and I think it's also interesting that the recession, if you look at the numbers, tend to hit men harder than it hit women, but the recovery is also helping men more than it's helping women. I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that women seem to be sort of going their own route and creating their own businesses instead of just going the traditional route of putting in an application for a job that already exists.
Well, I can speak, specifically the candidates that I see that we hire into sports companies across the globe, especially in sales and marketing positions, being tremendously more prepared to step into and not only communicate, which again, from a sales background, being able to communicate in whatever roles they're stepping into are light years ahead of a lot of the male population that's coming into the space. So, I mean, I think it's a trend that's happened over the last 5 to 10 years that we've been seeing, and it's only going to improve.
All right. Well, so big picture, you look at the main debates between the two candidates and the two parties in general. This has been going on for years. Big government versus small government. And I wonder what the people that you speak to, what they tend to say, or if there is sort of a general stamp on that, whether increasing government involvement, more infrastructure, more investment, that kind of thing, to increase government jobs is viewed as a better way to approach the economy rather than cutting government, cutting taxes, cutting regulations, and trying to allow businesses to sort of develop on their own. Do you get a general climate of feeling when it comes to that when you talk to these small business owners?
It's definitely about cutting, decreasing the amount of regulation and allowing small business owners to be creative within their industry. You also see, I mean, from an infrastructure perspective, I think that's something that a lot of small business owners want more assistance with, but especially in regulation, I mean, I definitely think the small business owners are trying to take a hold of their business and their reins and want to be able to have the freedom to do that.
Of course. All right. That's Sam Caucci. Sam, thanks so much for being on. You can find out more. TheSalesHuddle.com is Sam's company. Check it out. We are going to